Hello, welcome back to Examining Life. My name is Amanda, and today I am here in Jamaica with Maverick, and we are going to be talking about different elements of Jamaican society and identity and some words of wisdom. So without further ado, Maverick, if you can please introduce yourself.
Well, I'm Maverick, and in a nutshell, I am the type of person who turns the volume up on muted thoughts. And I call it a community. It's poetry block. Started with three friends. Three friends, which I don't know if it's coincidence, if it's randomness, or it's all in alignment, But we're three friends on the block. We call it the block. We spot we chill and reason.
Yeah.
We got some books written by Plato, about Socrates. I think it was a Republic. A few other books, Robert Greene, I love him. I love Robert. So we were reading those texts, those literature. And we say, hey, we're philosophers, yeah. We're going to tell you about the truths. We talk about the truths that is inside of life, So I was there and I said to myself that, hey, I'm writing some words and I really and truly don't know how to put a label on the words. The first set of words I wrote was, I'm a poem. You cannot grasp me at first glance. My essence isn't easily perceived. My truth lies in the depths of my thoughts. My exterior is a path down a decoy alley. And writing those words, I'm saying, hey, this feels a bit poetic, But at the time we were writing about truth. We were just writing. We didn't put a label on it, And that's how Poetry Block started. How we went into events now is, after that experience there, we had a little gathering called Food for Thought. It was a fish fry and poetry, And because of the whole play with the omega-3, we call it, hey, Food for Thought. From that experience, to say, hey, probably we can really organize something where persons can appreciate the arts, the Jamaican culture. So we went to a Red Bones Cafe and say, hey, we're going to marry poetry and fashion. We can just make a fusion. And it worked awesome. We sold out that venue like probably about 2 to 3 years straight. And then I met a friend, not necessarily a friend, was a stranger at the time, but eventually became my friend. And he had a situation where he was feeding the homeless persons downtown. I'm usually the go-getter. I'm usually the type of person who say, hey, yo, my money me I come to get, money me want, But he was the complete opposite. He was a go-giver. He was the type of person who gave and he was never in need of anything. And me had a go-getter, I always want something. You understand me? I say, so he took me downtown now to this street feeding, and I didn't contribute it to what was happening in terms of the meals that were being provided. But I was there giving. It felt amazing. It was an awesome feeling. I've never felt so good in my life. I said, no man, I said, it feel good when I time one brother, he just run up to me. I say, yeah! I'm give him the food and the expression, the gratitude, the just the expression upon his face. I felt as if I was at a place where I'm supposed to be. From that experience, I decided, hey, Food for Thought will no longer be just a go-getter experience. We're going to see if we can give even a little back to whatever or whoever we can give it back to.
What role do the arts play in Jamaica? Any form of art?
That's a beautiful question. I went to Calabar High School, and at Calabar High School, my face is bleach out. I was trying to look a lot like a European. Pants, I think this tight, tight pants me used to wear. I didn't like the shape of my nose. I didn't like myself. I didn't love myself. Then I started writing. I started writing poetry. I started to know who I was. I started to love myself because I developed that love for myself. I feel comfortable in my skin now. Earlier I tell you how sexy I look, don't it? And that's the type of a role where art play in Jamaica. It helps you to find yourself. So that's the situation with art in Jamaica. It helps you to find who you are. That's the role it plays.
What defines the Jamaican identity as a whole or for you as an individual?
What defines the Jamaican identity? Okay, alright, let me put it to you this way. I'll go. I think India. What about this then? India?
India.
Sure. Alright, I heard this Buddhist story once where you had you had two monks. You had a elder monk. You had I'll call him his junior. Call him his junior monk. So the junior monk and him decide say, hey, we'll go on a journey to a different monastery. So while on the journey to the other monastery, they encountered a river. At the river, there was this beautiful girl. Her eyes were like diamonds. Her hair starfire, and she had skin like chocolate. You know, I don't know how all of that come together, but that was how she looked. But being a monk, you're not supposed to lust to the flesh. While there, she wasn't able to cross the river. You know, she's afraid. Women, you know, afraid. And not that I'm saying that women are coward, because I know some brave women, you know, brave Jamaican women. But she was afraid to cross the river. She thought she would have drowned. Okay. So the elder monk said, hey, here I go, and jump on my back and cross the river. So, them cross the river now, and he put her down and she reached across safely. And the junior monk looked at him and said, you know, we're not supposed to go near women. We're not supposed to touch female. It's not in our ethics, and that's how we operate. The senior monk said, hey, that pass, that gone. Why am I have to carry that burden, that gone? But the entire time the junior monk did him complain and him say, oh, no man, you shouldn't do it. You know, you shouldn't do it. And for the entire time, even though at the next one they lift up the woman, the senior monk they lift up the woman, and the junior monk can carry the burden. You know, and that described the entire Jamaican experience. You know, people tend to take up burden on them own, one half their own. You know, and to me that would define Jamaica.
Can you give me an example, like locally?
For example, the other day I'm in my house, right, and I have a tenant. So my tenant and I know had a disagreement. I thought he would have stayed within our space, within our sphere. By the time I go outside, my neighbor say, I want to go with you and such and such. I mean, I say, that's a kind of a private matter. But the neighbor continued to talk to me about it, you know. So he was taking on the burden of my tenant, you know. And that would be a perfect example of how Jamaicans are, you know. And I love them for it too, you know, because at the same time too, yeah, there's a good side to it where you will see someone in need or in help, you know, and you feel like where my friend Ocean Panther did, was to use him own funds and feel for other people. And it's not a bad thing, you know, but you have the downside and it have the upside to it.
What does it mean to live a good life?
To live a good life? What it means to live a good life? I think it was Bagwan who said that I wish everyone would get wealthy so them can get bored at it, so them can focus on what really matter, which is inner peace, you know, knowing yourself. And in order to live a good life, you have to have at peace within. And I guess it will manifest on the outside too. So in a nutshell, that's it.
You can go into as much detail or not as you want, but like you were talking a little bit about in high school when you weren't as comfortable with yourself. How did you like achieve that inner peace?
I started writing, and I started writing about the beauty of persons of my complexion and persons where I have a similar nose. Persons who have Africanness in them, you know. So when I started writing and reading about persons who are like me, and they're beautiful persons, they're persons where people revere them intellect, you know, so I realized, hey, why is it I gotta have diamond per my land and I got abroad for look diamond? Why not just cultivate them I have and appreciate it and love it? Marcus Garvey was about putting together a community of people who have the similar skin tone as himself in order for the betterment of all black persons. Because right now, I mean the other day you have, say Europe collapse, say America collapse, you know. When Americans go overseas, they're not gonna get treated with the respect what them are get experience now. So Marcus Garvey philosophy was this: if Africa was supposed to be developed.
Yeah.
No matter where you go in the world,
Yeah.
African people are going to get respected. Them are get the respect that them deserve.
Mm-hmm.
One of the persons or one of the authors that I read that really made me feel proud to be black was Malcolm X. When I read Malcolm X biography, that made me feel proud to be black, and I understood what persons of my skin color they go through.
So during the pandemic, this has been a, unique time in the world. So is there any like specific wisdom that you've acquired during the pandemic from like that experience?
The pandemic has ruined a lot of relationships. It gives you an opportunity to see the person that you're actually with, So it shows who the person is, it makes you see a lot of person's character.
And I suppose that could go in both ways. You can see the good in people or the not so good in people. Like it could probably go both ways.
I use the bad, not that I'm a pessimist or anything of the sort, but based on the statistics where the media them should say, hey, divorce gone up by this amount and violence gone up by this amount and all of that. So you see that there's definitely a negative social impact caused by the pandemic. So that's what I wanted to communicate.
And I guess also moving forward from the pandemic, what, other than like the government elements and all of that sort of thing, just in general in society, what should happen to like be able to overcome this 2-year challenge?
I don't have all the answers. I really don't. But I think for create more experiences like food for thought, where you have persons come in there, not just to hear poetry, but to see a different perspective and to create a brotherhood, a kind of family setting. So even if I have more experiences where I have persons coming together, getting to know the different persons' perspectives and personality, because I think not knowing a person issues or how if we know the person, we know how to better interact with the persons. Pandemic put in a space where even though you have the close persons where they're on, where you get to know them more, it still create this distance on a wider scale. So we need to create situations like food for thought where persons can come together and create bonds.
And I guess my last question is, what is the meaning of life, if you could sum it up in a nutshell?
I would say is being able to be in the present. Another thing I got from that Buddha story is that whenever you look in the past, there's always something for you to feel some sort of pain or some sort of way about. If you look, I'm not saying that you're not supposed to try and see ahead, but if you're looking at the future, you're always anxious. But if you're in the present, you're Gucci, you're good. You're nice, you're irie, you get me? So I think life is just being present.
Yeah. Would you like to close with a poem?
Yeah, definitely. I love poetry, She was like a bright light below a high moon on a silent night. Jazz was playing in the background, but all that was in the background got drowned. All I could hear was her a cappella track. The symphony of her body language sang a song of a goddess, a siren, the kind of sound that turned men into maniacs. In my mind, I kept replaying her tracks. I knew every step she took and every pebble that touched her flats. I imagined her in stilettos, waiting for me at the temple's gate. I was ready to take a leap of faith. I could hear wedding bells increasing by 10 decibels as I behold her skin tone. Orchid color, natural hair, no wigs. Behold, an ebony goddess is on the ground. I looked up and I could tell her eyes was searching for a God from Zion. I looked around and I saw no God. That's when I started thinking to myself that maybe I am the one to perform this miracle and enchant the heart of an oracle. Her herself I must seduce. I proceeded to ask if she had escaped from Zeus, and I showed her I'm not afraid of lightning. She smirked a subtle smile that was amazing and said, wow, I'm just a girl from Olympic Gardens. Silla.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for having me. Moses, John Cena, thank you for the space. I appreciate it, Give thanks.